Good morning, Project Return. My name is Elizabeth Keel, and that was Feo. And I am your program manager here to bring you another lesson in psychology. So, today we're going to be talking about mood, which is one of the 5 aspects of understanding our problems. Last week we talked about thoughts, and the week before that we began with our broad look at the idea of understanding our problems. And so, today, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about mood. And everybody experiences some moodiness from time to time, right? I feel kind of up and down from time to time, depending on what's going on in my life. We all are kind of feeling up and down right now because of the coronavirus, right? But we're getting through it one day at a time. And so, what moods signal things, or rather, I should say, moods signal things in our life that are important, that are happening. So right now, you may be feeling a little depressed because of the coronavirus. That's an important thing to know about our lives and what we're experiencing. Because once you identify the problem, you can start to identify the other aspects of the problem and start to change any of them by influencing one of them. So we're talking about mood. So what's some things that influence mood? First, diet, what we're eating, how much we're sleeping, how stressed we are, if we're really overstressed from work or we're really overstressed from school. The weather can change our mood, as well as our hormones. Our hormones can change our mood. All of those things can change our mood. So what are some of the things that we can do to change our mood for the better? Well, the big one is lifestyle changes. So changing your diet, changing your sleeping patterns, exercising a little bit, going outside when the weather is nice and appreciating it, being in that moment, having a little bit of mindfulness and being present in that moment, really experiencing the fresh air. That's something we have the luxury of in Florida, and hopefully you do too wherever you are. And so, some mood signal important things in our life, and identifying our moods can help us see the connections to our problems. So pay attention first to your body. Our physical reactions. Our physical reactions can tell us a lot about what we're experiencing. It can influence our moods, it can influence our thoughts, our behaviors, and our environment. Our physical reactions are very important. So, if we're experiencing a physical reaction, say our heart starts to race and our palms get really sweaty. Oops, I startled him. And our palms get really sweaty. Then we experience what I would consider to be an anxious mood, some anxiety. And so pay attention to your body. Anxiety can be that heart racing. Depression can be that sleepiness. And what patterns do you see with your mood, right? What patterns do you see with your environment? So for example, whenever I come to record, I'm usually pretty happy because I'm excited to talk to you guys, even though I can't see your faces and make sure that you're getting the content. But I'm excited to talk to you guys. But also in my environment, it's kind of messy, and it's all by myself, so it's a little bit lonely. And so what's the behavior? I try to talk to you guys as if I'm right here with you, as if you're sitting in my studio with me right now. The thought is that if I work my hardest to get these videos out and have them well done for you, that at the very least when we return to the center, we'll be able to revisit the content for review as we have our classes. And then the physical reactions do I see with my mood right now while I'm in the studio. Sometimes my hands do get a little sweaty. Sometimes I say a lot. So my physical reaction is that I can become a little breathless. I can rush my words. So those are my physical reactions, that kind of neediness inside, that inner restlessness. And so those are the patterns I see with my mood here in the studio. And then if I can identify my mood, I can identify the cues in my environment that signal those moods. I can identify the cues in my behaviors and my thoughts that prolong or precipitate our moods. And so break down your moods. First off, when you're feeling blah, right? I hate that word, and my husband does too, because blah is typically when I'm feeling I'm just feeling ugh. you sometimes feel like that. So that would be like my mood, blah. And then I had a good friend tell me, well, oops, he's a little cold. And then I had a good friend tell me that blah doesn't just mean blah, it means a bunch of different moods all in one. And so remember, you can have multiple moods in a day. You could be in the morning, you can have a really great mood when you're at work and you're busy and you get to see all your friends, your Project Return family. Or you could be when you get home, you might be a little down because you don't have that social interaction that you crave, as I do. So identifying your moods, breaking down the blah feeling into digestible one-word moods. And if you can break down your blah into saying, well, I'm sad and anxious, then I can say, which of these problems is most important for me to address right now? The sadness or the anxiety? And if I can choose between the moods that are bothering me most, then I can start to assemble a strategy for combating them. And so, moods and the thought connection, what you are thinking about when you are in your mood. I don't know about you, but when I'm frustrated with schoolwork and my mood is really frustrated, my thoughts can get really, really frustrated too. So how can I change my thought-mood connection? If my thought is, I don't understand this content, I'm so frustrated. Or I've got to finish this exam, it's the end of the semester, I'm so frustrated. Then the thought is perpetuating that mood of frustration. So we can intercept it. We can say, there's only 2 more weeks left of school, I can get through it. Instead of saying, oh my God, there's 2 more weeks, I have so much to do. I can get through it. Changing our perspective when we think about our thoughts and our moods. And so everyone gets moody. Everyone gets moody from time to time. And our mood can be achieved by applying the 5 things that we've learned about understanding our problems. And that's one of them, I should say, the 4 things. And so keep that in mind. Remember, behaving, and sometimes moods can be things that we achieve. For instance, if we want to achieve a state of peacefulness, then we could participate in perhaps yoga. The behavior would be to participate in the yoga with the hope that the mood would be peaceful and content. Another example is if you're having a physical reaction because of anxiety, then you can focus on a breathing exercise, again, a behavior, to influence the mood of anxiety that you're feeling. And so the last thing I want to talk about is how do we track and monitor our moods so that we can start to use our understanding of our moods to solve our problems? So the first way to do this, and the best way I think in my personal experience, is with a mood journal. That's what I do. I keep a mood journal. And what I'll do is I'll record the moods that happened during a day and the situations that I was dealing with at the time. And that usually includes the who, what, when, and where of what happened. And so by identifying all those situational things and the behavioral things, like what I was doing at the time or what someone else did, by identifying all of those things, I can start to see what factors play into the mood and the situation that I experience that precipitates that mood. And so remember that having a mood diary is not like it doesn't have to be structured, totally structured. Sorry, Theo. It doesn't have to be totally structured, but if you do it every day, then it could be a great practice for you to really start establishing what those moods are. And you can discover links to the 5 aspects of your problems when you do it, which is great. And then it also helps you to determine and eliminate stressors. So when you do your mood journal, you write the situation that you're experiencing, the mood that it precipitated, and then you write about the circumstances and how you can fix that problem, and the problem that determined from the situation. And then at that point, you're 1 step closer to your mood journal completion. The last step would be to determine the scale of how intense was that emotion, that mood, I should say. And how intense was that mood? Was it an 8 out of 10? Or was it a 3 out of 10? How intense was that mood that you were feeling? So keep a record of your moods and just observe this. This is just for observation, for you to learn what moods you're experiencing and when. So Project Return, my name is Elizabeth Keel, this is Senor Feo, and we say have a great day. Bye now.